what did you miss most about life on tour while you guys were away during the virus shutdown?
Well, I mean, the competition. That's one thing that no matter what you can't simulate. Is something that I love is being out here competing against the best players in the world, and that's what I miss most.
Yeah, I want to have some fun, but I do need to ask you two other real questions here. How has it been different as a player without the fans? It is certainly somewhat jarring as a viewer when you guys hit these great shots into greens and there's no cheering or anything like that. How is it different as a player without the fans?
It's a lot different. I think the fans, they bring so much to the game. I think they bring so much to every sport. But it's definitely something that I miss. I enjoy having the fans out here. Especially during the tournament rounds. It just brings so much more excitement. I think it, maybe adds a little bit more pressure. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get the fans back here sooner than later.
And then one more on these, and that is we've had a couple of players now that have had to miss tournaments because they've tested positive. Just got news this morning that one of the caddies tested positive. What has that been like for you as you have now begun to travel, all of the testing and all of that? What has that experience been like, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think the tour is doing a great job with all the things they have, all the precautions that we have to take. We do get tested pretty regularly, and inside we're wearing masks, and we're not supposed to have any contact. So I think they're doing a great job. Unfortunately, some people are still going to test positive, and they're not going to be allowed to compete. But for the most part, I think most of the guys are pretty safe, and they're doing a great job.
All right, DJ, I'm going to bring my fellow golf geek into the conversation here. Dan Orlovsky is with me here. And so here's my first fun question for you. If all of you guys on tour got together and had a long drive contest, so it's you, it's McIlroy, it's Woodland, it's all the guys who are long hitters, who winds up winning a long drive contest of all the guys on tour?
Probably right now, Bryson, maybe. Depends. Can we hit into the win or downwind?
You tell me.
Bryson's hitting it pretty hard. Downwind, he's going to win. Into the win, one of us guys might can get him.
Orlovsky?
DJ, huge fan. I got a question really about match play. So last week I played a match with Greeny as my partner. He stinks the first 10 holes. I have to carry him. I start fast, keep us in the match. And then those last 8 holes, he catches fire a little bit and kind of rides some coattails to a huge comeback win. So in your opinion, with match play, would you rather start fast and carry your team like I did with Greeny last week, or would you rather kind of ride the coattails of a huge comeback and get a win?
As long as I got a win, doesn't matter.
Let the record show that wasn't the question we had planned. And it's also a completely inaccurate depiction, DJ, of how well I played on that back nine. But we'll talk about that another time. Let me ask you this.
A win's a win, and you're a team, so.
Fair enough. We did win. I want to ask you about Gretzky. I love watching when you and Wayne Gretzky play together at Pebble, and I just wonder, being one of the great athletes in the world yourself and having the opportunity to be as close as you are to one of the greatest players in the history of sports, what do you learn as an athlete from being around him?
Well, I mean, Wayne's just an incredible person, and obviously he's great to be around. I love spending as much time as I can around him. And, what he did in his sport, it's, arguably dominated more than any athlete ever. So for me, just to be around him, learn, how he handles himself, why he was so good, which is because he worked harder than everyone else. It's very special, and I'm very lucky.
What do you see in the moments? There's a lot of pressure at Pebble Beach at that celebrity tournament, for example. There's a lot of pressure on you guys, those of the people playing who are not on tour, because they're out of their element to some degree. He's a good player, but he's not a tour pro or even close. What do you see about his ability to handle pressure in particular that maybe gives you some insight into why he was so great?
Well, playing golf, he does get really nervous, especially at Pebble. But it's mostly on the first tee. At Pebble Beach on Saturday and Sunday, there's the big crowds. And so he does get nervous. So it's kind of funny to watch. But then once he settles down and, we get some big crowds, is usually when he hits his best shots, because he enjoys the fans, and, he just enjoys that spotlight.
Dan?
DJ, one more question from me would be, if I hit driver in a traditional way, tee in the ground, and you hit driver off the top of a bear can, who's hitting it further?
Never seen you hit one, but I would imagine myself.
I'll tell you what, he hits it pretty long.
That's humbling.
He hits it pretty long, but I'm with you either way, DJ. Very quickly, I should ask you about Tiger. A lot of people that I know who know the game extraordinarily well, that watched the match that he played with Peyton and Brady and all that, said they thought his swing looks as good as it has ever looked. Have you had a chance to be around him much? I know you guys live down there in the same area. What have you seen in him, and what are your expectations for him as you guys all come back and he rejoins the tour?
I mean, it's Tiger, so you always expect him to play really well. But yeah, he's definitely swinging the club well. He looks like he's moving really well. He's healthy, so I wouldn't expect anything but him to play well.
All right, one last question I'd like to ask. I've asked this question to many players on tour, and the answers always fascinate me. Have you, Dustin Johnson, ever walked off a golf course and felt to yourself, that was it? That was literally the best I'm capable of playing. I couldn't play any better than that.
Yeah, I mean, Oakmont, I felt like, for 4 rounds straight, I felt like I played really, really well on a really difficult golf course. And, yeah, I mean, I couldn't have played much better.
Interesting to me, because Mickelson told me that he has, like you just did. Tiger told me he never has, that he has never walked off a golf course and felt, that's it, I'm not capable of doing any better than that. What does that say?
I mean, I get that and understand it, and I mean I could probably say that too, but because there's always something you could have done better, but no one's ever going to be perfect in this game, and that's one reason why I love it, is just the challenge to be the best that I can. But yeah, I mean there's some people just look at things differently.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.